A proper biodiversity garden inside India, because of India's culture and all such things, an essential part of that is a little sacred space. Sacred space means, depending on, I mean, it goes off into philosophy, and actually the basic approach to nature itself starts from that sacred space inside a farm. In all the old farms and in the rural areas, usually one sacred tree or something is there, one rock or something. Here we have properly installed the family deity and all that. So I thought I'll have a look at it. This is about 15, 17 years old, this shrine, open air shrine. So this is how the original Indian temples originated. They had some stone or rock or some sacred point, and from around it, advanced people could feel the vibrations and all. And they said this is a sacred place. So in that area, in the last few years, I started observing deeply these sacred gardens and sacred forest and sacred trees and all. And it's an integral part of our Indian culture. Even inside the most crowded cities like Bangalore and all, in places where the real estate value also is very, very high, you'll find ficus trees are spared. So that is a sacred tree and a sacred space. So it's there in all our Indian cities. You can see these ficus trees, and in all temples they will have. It's essential to have some sacred tree or something or other. So some rules are there for the sacred space. If you don't have you don't have to install any deity and all that. You can just set aside some space for where human interference is not there. That's all. That's a sacred space. So when there is no human interference in this 2-acre plot, we have some 200 feet by 100 feet, one small square where nobody goes. And then in that edge there is one small shrine for which some small ritual is done once periodically according to some rules. And over the years, what happened? Many species came on their own, because in these undisturbed places, if we stop going there or interfering, cutting, weeding and all that, then the natural plants of that area will slowly start appearing there. First the sandalwood plants came. Then because of that fruits, the birds also visit more. And when these birds visit a particular place, they visit if it is conducive and nice, if there is no disturbance, and they can hang out in the afternoons and all, some shade is there and all that. So these sacred spaces provide, usually there's a tree or something like that. So here also we had a couple of trees. If nothing is there, it will come on its own. You can just wait for a while and you will find that something has landed. So birds come and then they do their droppings. They fly around in the surrounding area, and then they eat berries and whatever they eat, and then when they rest in the afternoon, they put their droppings. So slowly, so many plants came, shrubby things and all, whatever they eat in the surrounding areas. So it's interesting to watch how it evolves, this sacred space in this particular garden, because it wasn't there earlier. We established it after we started after we started becoming active in we bought this land and all. Now the Strabillus asper and then some albizia also came inside there. I also added few plants, nice ones, which are appropriate since last 6 months only, like this arisam and all. I thought let it be one year, because they normally occur in these old sacred gardens. Then so by and by what happens, a thick dense little patch of greenery is created, and that's a place for snakes, and it's usually associated with serpent worship and all, and snakes do come and settle down in this kind of place. And sacred gardens often have these huge termite mounds and all inside. Those are all the signs by which those divining people who are called, they will suggest the location for a sacred space in the farm. And then by and by it has become like this. It's quite impregnable. We also don't go there. And that soil also has become very, very rich, dark and black. This is a high fertility soil. So the sacred space creates, improves the fertility of the soil, one little patch at least. Then birds and all come, so the biodiversity of the place automatically improves. With birds and this kind of greenery slowly appearing, insects and butterflies and millipedes, centipedes, earthworms, all kind of things appear, come and go depending on nature. So it becomes the sacred space is a place where we don't interfere and nature can do its thing, undisturbed place, so that some wildness will appear inside that farm. So linkage is established between the wild uncultivated forest areas and the farm. A kind of symbiotic relationship is established where those birds and animals and all can find the safe haven inside. Since nobody goes there, nobody kills anything, it's forbidden. Ants, termites, all kind of creatures can come and settle in this kind of place. So even, I mean, it's not city gardens, all this won't work. But if you have a small farm, 2 acre, 3 acre and all, one little patch you can decide that, okay, this is a nice spot. We will not do anything here. And just stop doing anything there. Let whatever nature decides can happen out there. So that's about the sacred spot. And then you should never go there with shoes and all.